just like I don't know. I definitely played a little bit too much, I think, for positioning and got walked on. And then I think there was just like some poor ult management mixed in.
Okay.
Um, and there were definitely times where like I don't know, I made mistakes as well, but I feel like we also made things easier for them by I don't know, walking in and just doing really dumb things.
Yeah. So like before the defense even starts, like I already feel like you're gonna have trouble defending because like everyone's playing in the same spot. Like all five of you guys are playing up here, and say they go under, now you have to rotate like back into them at point. So like I'd probably say is because you're running like Ash
Hmm.
Mercy, have like Ash Mercy play back here, right?
Okay.
And then Ramatra can play up here. Kirko is like right here with Ramatra, and Bastion maybe is like right here. What's gonna happen is when they rotate, it's gonna be easier for you guys to rotate back. So like Ash and Mercy are already up here, so they're already like if I did like Ash and Mercy are
They
already up
peek into
here.
me late,
Yeah, like
basically.
what you are constantly putting damage on them. You don't have to rotate, so you're constantly putting damage on them when they're coming to point, right?
Hmm.
Even if you probably also want to play up here instead, actually, by this blue thing because you can
Or
back
by
up.
the backlit.
Yeah, you
Well,
can
actually, I
back
guess
up.
back ledge doesn't make sense. I should coach shotgun from there to the back ledge if I need to
Yeah,
get
yeah,
away.
yeah. So you're up here, and then just like to have a repositioning wise, like Bastion can play like right here or like right here, because then either way he gets a good rotate back. Like he can rotate up here into this high ground and back
Hmm.
up with you, or he can rotate back through here and drop and like back up to point, the back of point, and he has his sentry to help him. And Ramatra can play like right here with Kiriko, and they're like
Hmm.
putting some pots at the beginning. They're shooting down at
Shouldn't
them.
so you want Ash Mercy all the way back, which isn't
Yeah,
bad, but shouldn't is it better to play on I guess the second like
like
bridge?
this one.
Yeah, and then like shotgun back when they push in. Because at that point, like they should have blew all of their gap closers. At least that's my assumption.
Um, so the reason I have you play back here is that most likely the fight's going to take place on point.
Hmm.
So you can easily back up if you need to and like regroup. Like if you look, like if we go to this instead, and look at
Hmm.
this, like this spot compared to this spot. So if you're set up at this bridge and you back up here, so you're backing up this way, as opposed to playing like right here, like look at the area that you have to work with now. There's like nothing to help you. But if you look over here, you have this area to leave and you have this area to hide for a second, and you can drop down and go in here, and you can drop down and
Hmm.
go in here. You have like four ways to help yourself rather than zero. So that's why I say
Hmm.
play up here, because what's going to also happen is that it also gives Kiriko like a good TP spot if she needs to get out. So Kiriko can TP up here to you guys, and then she's playing up here. And
Hmm.
Ramatra, when he drops, he's either going to be like pinching them from this way to point, so you have like up here, and he's going to be taking damage from over here and like kind of
Okay.
like taking the thing away from you. Or if he drops before them, now he's kind of playing to where he's still taking damage away from you.
Okay.
So like if you're right here, right, and he's like trying to come back, he's gonna have to like back up here to give you a little bit more space to work with. Otherwise, they're just gonna run up the stairs and kill you right here. But if you're right here, if they try to run up the stairs, like that's bad for them because you can just like continuously back up over here, right? But if
Hmm.
you're if he's if you're playing back there, he has that space to kind of like drop because they're looking at you for a second. But if they're up here, they're just gonna go up here and kill you. So it's just kind of like an easier like way for you to get out. And then Kiriko can TP to you. If Kiriko TP's up here, like she that's not like a good TP for her because she can't really escape after that. And then what it's also gonna do is for the like when you think about it for the rotate, like if you're playing up here, when Bastion
Hmm.
rotates back, now there's like two angles. So now instead of all three
Hmm.
of you guys being up here and it's like, okay, look at all them up there, let's just go rush them. Like now Bastion's up here and you guys are back here, so you can kind of like help them from here and maybe get like a little bit of a pinch, or maybe like Kiriko can, throw her Suzu from here and you guys can help the Bastion from there. But if you guys are right here, or when our match is running at, or I guess a Drunker Queen in this case is running at you, if you're right here, it's going to be harder
Hmm.
for you to like get value. because you're just getting rushed by the Junker Queen. What happens? Does he just fall?
I'm not sure.
He just jumped early. Like, you can definitely make that jump.
Defend objective A.
Did Hank drop first and maybe followed him? Or
No,
did he just
John
kind
dropped
of-
first and Hank dropped. I don't know if he dropped because there's two reasons he could have dropped. First is that he was just like blindly following John. Second is that he knew John fell and needed to help him. So like John didn't make the jump.
Okay.
So then Hank dropped to like help him, and then John could have probably backed up to the corner
Is it
here.
better to just have him play like cross bridge and then just play in the little like
Right
cubby
here?
up top?
Yeah, like right here, yeah. Because like he doesn't really have to rotate that much. Like he's also slow, so you don't really want him rotating that much. You don't want him like having to cover ground. He doesn't have a movement ability. So like if he was up here, he could be shooting down on them, shoot them down from this way. He can go up here, shoot down on them from this way, right? He can sentry from right here and just mow people down. But he probably could have gotten to this corner. Oh, he got knifed. Okay.
We got pulled in by Junker Queen, and then I think we just get
But you see how they walk past you, and your angle now is like behind them, and that because you're behind them like that, their backline has an easier shot to get to you. Like watch what happens because you're back there. Genji sees you, just like destroys you. And if you were back here, you'd be shooting at them all from up here. And if Genji dashes at you, you can coach gun him, or you can drop, or you can go this way, or something like that. So beginning positioning is really important, especially for a map like this where they could just like walk right onto you. It's similar to like Midtown. Okay, Widow.
Objective lost.
We're kind of playing
Stop
super far
the
back
payload.
angles and just try to like stop the Junker Queen from getting value.
yeah. I feel like this is one map where we should be running like Sojourn Ash. So,
I'd probably play
so-
Ashe instead. I mean, Sojourn instead of Widow. Yeah.
Okay. I think we get more value.
Oh, Hank!
out of
No,
that,
no, no,
but,
no, no, no,
Yeah,
no.
unfortunately, he went in because I think Junker Queen was low, and then we didn't trade. Even if we did trade, I think
You
we'd
can't
still be
chase
at a
this kill. Like when he drops like that, when he falls like that, you can't chase this kill because, I mean, like
Yeah.
you're thinking of like.
I mean, technically, if he gets it, we win. But you're not wrong. It's not a. Even if we
I'd rather
win
him
this
survive
fight-
than trade.
Well, even if he trades, they have a quicker spawn. Even if
Yeah.
he gets the kill and another kill, they still have spawn advantage.
Yeah, I mean, you're already down Kiriko and you, so there's no reason to try to take a trade here. You're already down 3. I mean, you lose one more. You trade, it's a 2v4. Probably gonna. I mean, Widow and Mercy are not gonna win a 2v4. So I'd say in this scenario, like you can continue to shoot down on him, like maybe from here, maybe you can get the kill, but
Mhm.
don't drop like that, because then I mean, the fight's already over. But now you have to wait longer to get back in the fight. Kill. He kind of overextends, so that was
He
good. This guy is
does,
overextending
yeah.
hard.
This is where, so we had moments where both of their supports were just like W keying in. This is, I think, the most frustrating part. And we just didn't, like, Kiriko and Lucio went in there. And
Like, this Lucio is like telling you to kill him.
yeah.
He's saying, "Kill me."
Unfortunately, he just doesn't die.
For the reckoning.
Because, like, right there, if I
Kiriko
coach gun in to try and, like, meet him in the stairwell, I get dove and
Yeah, I
die.
mean, Donnie dies, and
which is
then they get the value off of the Junker Queen ult.
Yeah. And we've had this issue before where like supports on other teams overextend and somehow it just works out so well for them. I don't know if it's just like we don't expect it and so we don't react to it, or
I mean,
don't
you're
know.
not really playing very much punishable characters. Like you're playing Widow and Ashe,
We're
which
playing
means,
more quick.
yeah, like if you had a Sojourn, you might be able to punish him more with the rail and the nade and stuff.
Or go like, I don't know, Tracer's not really great, but even Soldier's better at like just consistent close range damage. You can go Reaper too, but realistically, like,
Does Jaden like go to your scrims?
not usually.
Okay.
Or I think she's been to some of them, but the last two she hasn't.
She
at
should
least.
try to go to your scrims and like help you.
Yeah.
Like I'm the person that kind of like does the talking in our scrim, but you need someone to help you go in the right direction in yours. Good nade.
Honestly, one of the other things too we should probably call out, like, it might be worth trying to time things. So like, let's say, he does have his ult, Hank's going to ult on card or something, then maybe I should have saved nade to place it like behind them as opposed to like the nade did hit them, but it would have gotten, I think, more value out of like them getting pulled past it and then having to walk back through.
Yeah, I mean, you got like there's a lot. It's a lot more complicated in this game. Like you really have to like think about what you're doing. Like a lot of times, you're basically just getting punished for the positioning that you're in, and you kind of don't really have a chance because you're just playing in such a weird position to where you just die like right at the beginning of the fight, and there's nothing you can do because they're playing. I mean, they're playing this
Like
this
Lucy's
rush comp.
frontline.
So like
wild.
so like they're playing this rush comp where they're trying to close the gap against you. So
walk.
like how do you play
Yeah.
against that? You don't let them close the gap. You play like you have your Ashe play right here. I probably, if you were sticking with the Mercy, have the Mercy be right here. Have like a Rissa play like maybe like right here so she can push off people who try to go to high ground. And then, Sojourn can play like over on this side, getting some pot shots over here. I mean, Kiriko's like right here, just shooting down. And then what happens is if you see the Junker Queen go up, what do you do? Like if you see Junker Queen go up here, what do you do? Supports, everyone starts backing up, right? You're not leaving, but you're just like kiting away. So you can continue to get value off of your range. And if Junker Queen comes up here, tries to rush in, Hank can just, javelin her maybe off the bridge or maybe push her off the bridge with a spin and just deny that rush. And then now she gets no value out of it. And then as the fight draws out, keeps drawing and drawing out, you will get those kills because Junker Queen thrives when the fight lasts the least amount of time. She cannot really she doesn't really do well in a mid fight when she doesn't have any abilities and she's just like walking around. I mean, it's sort of like Zarya without any bubbles, where she's just kind of like walking around doing nothing.
That's the other weird thing. They were running like a weird poke comp, which also did bad things to us. Like they ran Zen, Kree, I believe it was Echo. They could have probably run Ashe or Widow,
it's the change of the non-hog meta. So like people are experimenting with different things. Like now that hog is like not good really anymore. Like Zen, you can play Zen. Like if there's no hog.
It was Doom. That was their tank.
Doom,
which
okay.
to me,
like Doom is better when there's no hog.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
But to me, like what I was asking for during scrims when they ran that, I was like, we should be running something that's like quick damage. Because they're like, if we really were able to walk on them and deal damage, technically they would have the advantage the longer the fight lasts because they could kind of whittle us down. But if we walk on them, like it'd be relatively easy.
I think if I thought about it for a second, like something to counter like a Doom Zen comp would be like Orisa with like Reaper and maybe Sojourn and like Kiriko Lucio and just kind of like run into them with the Reaper. Like the Doomfist is gonna die if he goes into a Reaper. Like the Reaper like stays kind of with the backline. Like everyone, so like here I'll show you like how it works. So like say you're running like this way, just like at a choke or something. Like Orisa's in the front. Here's Orisa, and then like Kiriko's right here, Lucio's right here. Sojourn can be like on the side, like up here on the side, like maybe she can come over here. Sojourn's over here. Reaper is right here. Or no, that's Reaper. And then what happens is, if you're playing against a Doomfist, when the Doomfist tries to punch in, the Orisa can just like every single Orisa ability counters every single Doom ability. like she can counter every single one of his abilities. So he punches in, she can fortify.
Mhm.
Now Reaper just
And
starts
then just stuff.
just starts face tanking into him, like she saves her javelin for his empowerment
I was
thing. Where
playing Kree into Doom, which I feel like is really good.
I mean, it could be.
Granted, it's not a huge counter, but I think Kree can blow Doom up just because, like, you throw nade when he blocks, that's a free 130 damage. Then you just, fan the hammer if he doesn't have block up,
Yeah.
and you can remove him pretty quick.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's also good as well. But just like there's every this game has like so like every single comp has a counter comp in this game. Like it's all about counter picking. So like against this, like you have the right comp that you're playing against them, but you have to play it right. Like you have to play, at range and play to kite and push them away when they come in with Orisa and stuff like that. I mean, if you're playing frontline with Orisa and that Orisa's gonna get pooed on or you're gonna walk right past Orisa and they're gonna kill everyone.
The payload is approaching its team kill.
I also
Complete.
thought it would be a good idea. I'm gonna start doing this as well. Is to only scrim teams that are currently in Discord tier in Tranquility, because what
I
happens
don't
is
know if that would change. Like, I think the other team was literally around Diamond. I don't think
what
they
happened
were, like,
was
crazy high.
on Tuesday we played a team that had like 2 masters and like 3 golds, so they were
Mhm.
3 average, but they had like 2 high masters players. So those
okay.
high masters players were just like rolling on our back line. So like if we play
I mean,
teams that are in
they
Discord
did
tier,
have, I think, some private profiles, but they didn't feel like they were unbeatable.
no, yeah.
don't
I just
know.
like to keep it like simple, like because these are teams we'll be playing against no matter what. So
This is true. It's not a bad idea to
Yeah.
try and just roll.
do you know that
trash.
Triage 3 is in it this year again?
Oh, is that the team that, like, what was it? They didn't rule buck us, but they wanted to.
They
get
wanted
a
to rulebook us.
fight.
They didn't
Yeah.
rulebook. They wanted to. Yeah.
5, 4, 3.
Wasn't so they were the ones that wanted to, like, get a different match time? Is that how? it
No,
worked?
no. What happened is like they wanted us to like they were like trying to like get us to use our timeout or something like that because someone was like restarting their PC or something. So we're like, no, like come on, just like wait 2 seconds. And they also we scrimmed them a couple times. This was back when I was playing like Baptiste for the UNH, and like we kept rolling them, and it would like he always used to stream, so it was just really funny, like to see their reactions.
2,
I'm
1.
surprised people
Attackers
stream in the
incoming.
lower tiers.
Nobody really
I mean,
streams Overwatch anymore.
Yeah, it does make sense. Like, people still watch. Watch or live.
So something that I can notice that's like
Mhm.
really simple is that there's so much of a difference between sliding up right here and sliding up right here. Like that difference that it gives you is so insane. First of all, you have that bubble to protect you. Second of all, you are out of range of the pummels. So like watch what happens
Okay.
when it happens right here. Like Hank goes in, he's fine. You go up here, you get pummeled, and now Donnie has to use Suzu to help you. Now you're down Suzu,
Okay.
and now John is like completely feeding as well.
So just slide all the way to the right.
Yeah. Like I always think of Sojourn, and I always tell people who play Sojourn is like Sojourn thrives when she's not being forced to reposition. So like when she's taking her own positions and not being forced to reposition. So like that's why excuse me, like if you're playing Sojourn and you start up here on defense and you wait until they get to here to move, like that's bad because then you have to reposition while trying to fight them, and it's like it's not value for you. Like as soon as you see them going up the stairs, like you want to go all the way back here and just start shooting at them from here because you want to take the least damage possible, because you want the point of people playing with the Sojourn is that you take space and take attention away from the Sojourn so she can get a random kill on a support or something like that, because she's that powerful even still. So you get a trade here. I think it's still winnable. Go from the bubble, kill the turn. Okay. I think Hank kind of goes over a little bit overzealous with this jump. Gotta help Konix
I'm
out.
surprised he jumped back from you there. Is it? I feel like it's better for him to dive the people on point.
I think it'd probably better. Yeah, if you were in a better position, he wouldn't have to do that.
But in that case, like, isn't it worth just letting me die than I guess
Yeah, probably.
hitting
If
free?
they could secure the kills. Super scrappy fight. Unfortunate. You get full health here? No.
I think we win this one. Yeah.
This guy should die.
Where was Lucy? Oh, he was back behind. Okay. Yeah, this is the other thing. Like, look at how
sleep.
aggro he's playing. Like, their Lucio just walked in, which, I mean, granted, their tank was in too.
So
but,
the
like,
Lucio, his thought process is that I have to follow their Ramacha no matter what. And I mean, like, that's bad for him. Like, he shouldn't be doing that. Like, their Ramacha shouldn't even be that far in when, like, he could be that
It was
far.
all the way
Like,
past.
so, like, Ramacha could be that. Ramacha could be right here if their team was like up here and like over here, but their team was getting pushed back by Hank, so he was like singled out because of that. That was good by Hank to kind of separate him from the team.
That.
You take the point pretty easily, so.
Yeah, we do, but I think it's pretty hard fought past here. I think they win a couple team fights. We sort of catch up, but then I don't think we make it all the way to the next point. Unfortunately, yeah, I think they just.
Yeah, so something for John and for basically everyone is that, like, it's really, 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 really important in this game especially to, like, identify what kind of comp they're playing and, like, play around it. So, like, when you're playing Genji and just, like, poking from this angle, like, what type of comp are they playing right now, do you think, Connix? Like, what type of comp with these characters?
Definitely counter flankers. Anything, yeah.
It's like, it's like burst, poke with the turret, like, shield up, nemesis form, like, McCree pot shots. So they're playing to, like, counter flankers, but they're also playing, like, super front poke, like, just kind of, like, shoot you. So, like, as a Genji, like, you shouldn't be poking, like, just right here, just doing nothing. So what's going to happen is, like, maybe you're doing a little bit of damage to them. You're not really getting it. Like, most likely you'll never get a kill. Like, you'll not get a kill just poking from right
Basically, should we just be playing, I guess, around getting cart time and then engaging when we think it's in our favor, more or less?
Yeah, I
Because
mean,
we're
like,
playing monkey.
what can
and
happen
then,
here is what, like, if you notice, they're all 5 of them are playing together. They are doing such a bad job right now of like spacing themselves.
As soon as we get like Nano Blade,
yeah, like Nano Blade or like Nano Monkey. Like, what you can do is have, like, say you have this. Say Hank notices or somebody notices that all 5 of them are like here. So what Hank can do is go around up here.
Oh, and then you just pinch.
And then Nano Blade up here and pinch with Monkey and just stop them from leaving. And that's just an easy fight win. Like, in there with a Nano Blade and a Monkey, like, they are not surviving. So, like, just like, instead of just like playing super linear, like playing like a linear way where you're just kind of like, okay, we push the cart, now we fight them. Okay, we push the cart, now we fight them. Like, how can we best get an advantage? Like, we have to think a lot about, like, where we're playing, how we want to play, how we want to approach, like, what are they doing? How do we counter what they're doing? Like, it's a lot of just like thinking and shit, like, because you will lose to a team that's even like mechanics or lower mechanics to you if they have better game sense or better like adaptability and stuff. Like, you will lose to like a full team of golds if they are like completely like and utterly like outplaying you in the game sense, like mechanics, not game mechanics, game sense, and like setup, like doing setups, like they're doing setups with their comps and stuff. So if you're just like playing regular. So like, I like the Sojourn switch. I think the Sojourn switch was good. You're already playing Sojourn, actually, but like Sojourn on this round.
I think I played Ashe first point on defense.
Yeah. Kind of pushing cart right now. Yeah, you're down Genji, so like, you can't really do this like that. Good. I mean, that was a good setup. Like, Donnie was ready to shoot. You had a good fight there. You had a good pick on their Kiriko. Hank is specifically, I would say, you you need to use your primal to get back up there when you miss the jump, like to engage. Like you want to use your primal because you don't have a diva. You will rely a lot more on your abilities, especially your bubble and your primal as well when you have it. So like if you're gonna fight this with a primal, like instead of doing that, just like kind of like poke with your Tesla cannon, and then like during a mid fight, if you're down one or say you're people are low or you're trying to like deny an ability like Ramatra ult, like you should use your primal to do that instead of just trying to like chase kills because you missed the jump.
Basically, just forcing them to move back
Yeah.
and force space was it. Honestly, they just engage with so many ults here. Like, this is a good fight
They use
for us,
5 ultimates almost.
but I think, unfortunately, after this, they continue. Like, we should be out a bunch of ults, right?
You guys probably
Well,
should have just waited and not used any ults.
Well,
Try
I think
fight.
we used ours first, and then they responded.
Well,
by
yeah.
just
What I mean is that
pressing.
like you're up, you have 3 minutes left. You're about to take the point. Just be like, guys, let's do a dry fight and maybe not use any ults. Maybe we can get 2 ults out of them and come back in with an ult advantage or something.
Yeah, okay. I think we were calling for Nano Blade, and then we just used it because we also sat on it. For,
Yeah,
like,
I mean the thing is,
wanna
if
say
if
2
you're
or
like
3.
ult tracking and you know they have beat and stuff, like there's no reason to use Nano Blade. Or if they have
That's
like
true.
Ramatra ult, like just kind of like be like, all right, let's like try to get beat out. Let's try to get like a a dry fight. Maybe I mean you're winning the fight right now, so. But you kill them in time to where you can get back. I mean, Lucio's already back from dying. Killers from Matra.
I don't think we do. Yeah. I think I overcommit because I think I'm going to one-shot him, and then he gets Suzuki and just change the tide of the fight. That's the other weird thing, like, do people try and actually play around Suzu? I mean, calling it out definitely changes your mentality. If you know
Dude, that was a great
something
primal. You see what Tank did there? That was a great primal.
I died here. I think I
Using a bunch of
walk
ults
on
again.
the...
Yeah, they just use a bunch of ults. You use 3, you lose the fight. Oh no, 4. You lose?
Yeah. The worst part is I think we don't get out because they have close spawn and then we're down.
Use 4 ults to lose that fight. That's not good.
Now right here, should we be like running around maybe all the way right side or something funky to try
over
and
here?
like force them to take? Yeah.
I don't think there's like a. I don't think there's a way to get. You can go through here. I don't think there's any way to get up here.
Unless you...
Maybe all the way up top left.
I guess that makes more sense.
Oh, I got unlucky.
60 seconds remaining.
At this point, I probably would have changed comps. I think you guys forced it for too long. I mean, the Torp turret's really fucking you up. I mean, they're playing like for monkey dives, and they're playing to like counter your comp.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say like I don't know, you swap to something like you could swap to a Ramatra of your own, maybe an Orisa, maybe swap to like Sojourn with like Sojourn like Ashe, and then do like Kiriko, Mercy, and do like a slow comp where you can kind of outpoke their slow poke comp, like high poke instead of slow poke.
And then basically just burst people out because we have the Mercy.
Yeah. Like this Torb up here, like if he is playing against a damage boosted Ashe and a Sojourn, like he's gonna either have to leave or his turret's gonna die always, and like he's not gonna be able to take this like angle right here. And neither is Kiriko. She's gonna get burst down. So they're kind of countering your comp, but you're not swapping. Compensate. I know soon we're making a comp sheet soon. So, you see how he notices? You see how when Monkey jumps in, he just runs into your back line?
Yeah,
Like
and
that's
then
what the comp is. Like he's just kind of like playing to counter you. Like this
honestly,
Torb
there's,
and
like,
this
no
Torb and
safe
Kiriko
place for-
are confident. Like Monkey by himself is not going to kill a Torb or a Kiriko. So like Hank jumps in, he sees that right in.
30 seconds remaining.
So I
Forget if we win our next engage. I think we don't. But
No, you don't.
yeah.
But you think you guys are forcing a comp too much? Yeah, they just have
Yeah.
like, they have beat to deal with that. You have a few ults coming up here, but you don't get nano off as well. And he just kills everyone, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think you guys just like need to learn how to adapt more to like different comps you're seeing. Also like you on that first defense, you had the better comp, you just weren't playing it correctly. You were kind of playing into their strengths where you were playing closer and letting the Junker Queen come into you. If you're playing long game, like playing to kite and make her waste her abilities, like make her waste her shout and stuff like that with like javelin and javelin spin, then she's gonna get caught in no man's land and you can kind of like outpoke them because they're playing super fast. And then against that Racha comp, they're playing to counter that Monkey comp where a Monkey jumps in, he's gonna have to deal with a Torb and a Kiriko and he's not gonna kill anybody. And then their Ramasha's gonna pummel into your, Anna and kill her. So that's what they're trying to play. So they the first side you guys played a count that counters them, but you didn't play it well. And then on defense they played a count that counters you, but you didn't like adapt. So it's like all about that where you're kind of like, I don't think you guys are bad mechanically. Obviously, you guys all have good mechanics. It's just about, and I think you should be like, hey Jaden, can you come to this next scrim and kind of help us out, like picking what comps to play and stuff, and then it'll kind of like change that. And something you can do is like make a comp sheet, like start out with like a basic comp that you play on that, and like you can like change it if you're getting countered, just so you have something like solid to look through. So
Just a basic like, okay, X doesn't work, try Y.
Yeah, yeah.
Go from there.
But I mean, you see the problems. It's just.
I mean, we definitely have a lot of room for improvement. I don't think anybody's like, oh, why exactly aren't we just rolling everybody? I just think there are like some disconnects where I would have assumed that we would, do better. Like in terms of the scrims we're getting, I don't think we're out of our league. It just sometimes feels really wonky. Like there were times where it felt like we were doing really fine and there wasn't any issue, and then we would like just get blasted the next fight, or we would be like, oh, I don't understand, we won that one, it wasn't even close, like what's going on?
Yeah.
So it definitely, I don't know, part of it is